Hello channel members, Rob from Karma Comment Chameleon here. This is video number 2 for channel member only content. Hope you enjoy. It's a ProRevenge this time, and thank you to each and every one of you for your continued support. Ex-girlfriend shafted me out of hundreds. I took her to court and reported her for tax fraud, leaving her liable for thousands. Let's jump right in. Last year, I lived with my then girlfriend. This turned out to be a huge mistake. Soon after moving in, it became clear that she expected me to cover her rent from time to time. As she was between jobs, I let this slide, expecting to be paid back in due course. It was a similar story with household bills. Whilst she paid her share to begin with, she eventually refused to contribute. I asked her if she could just open an overdraft with her bank till she got more work, which would have been free of charge, but she refused. Within the first few months of living together, she got quite behind on rent and bills. When she finally got a job, she began to catch up on arrears, but was always reluctant to pay. I thought she might be reluctant because it left her with little money, which would be fair enough, but things continued this way even after she got a better job. When she refused to pay rent one month, I explained that this wasn't fair and insisted that she pay up. After considerable outbursts, she paid, but not without making it clear that this wasn't what she wanted to do. During this argument, I was in a different town working, and a few days later, she let me know that she'd moved out and broken up with me. I was upset with the breakup, and further upset that she insisted she didn't still owe rent or bills, which left me in a dire financial position. To cut a long story short, she realized her mistake and came back a few weeks later, but with a renewed conviction that she didn't owe me anything because her returning was payment enough. The next few months consisted of her threatening to leave at multiple points for not supporting her enough, despite me buying most of our food, letting her pay late, and bringing her lunch every day. She even repeatedly threatened to kill me one night after coming home drunk. I thought this was especially rude, considering I'd stayed up late to make sure she got home safe. Other notable events were her and her mother having a deep discussion on how to leave me high and dry on rent. Her mother was a classy lady, and her getting verbally abusive that I wouldn't drop her name from the tenancy agreement. Must have thought I was stupid. Needless to say, the relationship wasn't meant to be and didn't last into the new year. Ex-girlfriend ended it. She eventually moved home, but agreed to meet her obligations and pay her remaining half of the rent. Some time after this had boiled over, I met a fantastic girl and we eventually got together. Happy days, I thought. Not quite. Ex-girlfriend discovered I had met someone else and absolutely lost her shit, calling me all names under the sun, calling me out for betrayal, etc. She didn't consider that breaking up with someone might make them not want you anymore. Incensed, ex-girlfriend stopped paying. At the time, I hadn't been keeping track and thought she owed me around £300. After she calmed down, she agreed to pay. A few days passed with no payment when I got a message from her mother claiming everything was paid and to stop asking her daughter for monies already paid to you. She went on to say that any further requests for money could be treated as harassment. At this point, I was irritated by the entitlement and rudeness of the pair and went back through my bank statements to check exactly how behind on payments she was. It turned out the shortfall was more than double what I initially thought, so I prepared a formal letter of demand for payment and posted it to ex-girlfriend's address. Several days later, I got a call from the police saying that a harassment report had been made against me. I explained the situation, and the police confirmed that no harassment was made. I was surprised that ex-girlfriend would waste police time to try and get out of paying the debt and decided to take ProRevenge to obtain justice. I discovered that for the entire period of our tenancy, ex-girlfriend hadn't been paying council tax. Essentially, she hadn't told the council she lived there. I took it upon myself to inform the council that there was a second person living at the property avoiding tax. They were appreciative of this information and further appreciated me furnishing them with an up-to-date home address for tax dodger ex-girlfriend. In parallel, I took ex-girlfriend to court over the unpaid rent and bills using the tenancy agreement we signed and got the majority of it back. OP made a comment after the story that I just thought was perfect and I wanted to add it on to the story. It says, P.S. If you're with someone like this, don't be afraid to leave them. There are people out there that are a million times better for you. I have to say, I completely agree with this statement. Life is too short to be upset or not be happy with what you're doing or your relationships. So find the one that you really want in your life and make yourself happy. Thank you again, channel members, for all the support you've showed the channel. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I couldn't do this without your continued support. Oh look, I still haven't made a members only end screen. Dang it. Click on another video to go see another one. Love you guys long time. Bye bye.